let's jump right to our first Shouty Show segment.
Oh, look at that picture.
It's a great pick. Love it.
This team is so badly prepared mentally and physically. The coach is a fool. He's always been a fool. He's always acted like a fool. His record is atrocious, and he can't win with a team that should win. And you know what? The way they're going nowhere, and he's going to lead the parade. And then the only thankful thing is it'll be right out the door. Overcoming this coaching staff is not easy. It might be too much for even Aaron Rodgers to do. We'll see you later.
Legend,
Mike
Francesa.
Francesa.
I knew he was talking about the Jets, obviously, before he mentioned
Right.
Rodgers.
Is that a hallmark of his delivery? Usually, the slightly too long pauses between thoughts, like just long enough for you to think there's something wrong with the broadcast.
I think that's part of the pacing.
Okay.
I think that's part of the pacing.
Yeah, that's like a standard.
Yeah.
Standard cadence.
Because when you're in monologue mode, it just adds to the drama. Pausing adds a little bit of drama to it.
Right, but it's like there's a pause, and then there's a pause that's just long enough for you to think, has my stream gone down? I need to adjust the dial?
You got to sound really upset.
Yeah.
So he calls Robert Saleh a fool.
Always been a fool. Yeah.
Always been a fool.
Right.
The record's terrible. The thing I struggle. So I know someone like you might misconstrue the difference between, say, like a Boston and a New York accent.
No.
Mike has a lot of Boston in there too.
Yeah.
You know, that you could think that's Boston sports radio, you know?
Yeah. I mean, classic.
The Sox are ruining my summer type
right.
stuff.
Classic Shouty Show hyperbole, right? Like coaching, we have a problem here, maybe. What can we do about it?
It's always been bad. It's never been good.
Not just that. Let's call him a fool, and then let's say he's always been a fool. Like the whole thing is built off him being an idiot, right? I mean, evidently and obviously that's dumb.
I will say the Jets, given the expectation, should be 3-1 right now. Sure. You would expect them to be 3-1. Lose to the Niners, beat the Titans, beat the Patriots,
right.
Beat the Broncos. And when you lose 10-9 with Aaron Rodgers as your
quarterback, they're 2-2
with those expectations.
With a last-second kick being the difference.
I know. And you know what, Mike? Aaron Rodgers has a history of bouncing back from disappointment, like a history of having he's had a lot of bad games he's had some like really bad games through the years.
Sure.
And then he comes back and drops 4 touchdowns the next week. So I would just wait before the rant. I would say if they're 2-3 after week 5, if they go to London and lose to Minnesota, just save the rant a week. Then you could call Robert Saleh a fool.
Then he's a fool. He's always been a fool.
Always been a fool.
Perfect.
We always knew it. Look at his record.
All right, what's next?
What can you tell us right now? What statement are you willing to make right this moment about Jayden Daniels?
Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in the NFC right now. I'm going to repeat again. Jayden Daniels is the best quarterback in the NFC right now.
Cosign. I cosign.
Right now.
I think I
right
love
now.
It.
Who's playing better than Jaden Daniels in the NFC right now? All that experience in college translates to the pros. This dude, nothing seems to bother him. He's accurate, he's athletic, he's cool in the pocket, and all that playing experience is playing out on the field right now.
This is top-notch work from Damien Woody. This is top-notch work. Here's why. He said right now.
Mm-hmm.
He said right now. This is beautiful. Stephen A. would never say right now. Skip wouldn't say right now. This is a cop-out because 5 weeks from now, if Jaden takes any step back and someone says, Damien, you said Jaden Daniels was the best quarterback in the NFC. He said, no. I said right now. Right? And who's to argue? Because right now, the Commanders have the best offense in the league. Jaden Daniels is completing 90% of his passes the last 2 weeks. He's right now. But you could also hear from Greeny, he's like, this is like the producers were like, all right, Damien, do you have any strong takes for this game? He goes, yeah, I'm gonna say Jaden Daniels. And Greeny's setting him up. He's like, do you have something to say? Do you have something big to say, Damien?
That's the problem, right? This is the thing, is that the Shouty shows what Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless have done to the world is it's now a systemic problem. It's not people like Emmanuel Acho just trying to replicate what they do, it's now a systemic cancer in the discussion, in the discourse, because Greenberg's out here leading him up the path going, what can you say right now? What's the hardest you can go?
Because he's got it in his notes. He's like, in the 9 o'clock hour, Damien declares Jayden Daniels is the best quarterback in the NFC. All right, it's time for that. Let's go.
Because the producers have done it as well, right? They've gone, what's the most ridiculous thing you can say this week and back it up, right? And Greeny's now leading them up, going, come on. How hard can you push it, right? And that just leads Damien Woody, who I think is actually quite good generally and knows what he's talking about and is smart and is relatively measured, right? That leads him up this path to end up trying to beat Stephen A. Smith.
They've got like a shared Google Doc, like all right, the show notes for next. All right, Damien, give us a take on Jayden Daniels, and he types in best rookie quarterback I've ever seen, and then I could just hear a producer being like, you got anything? Could he go a little further? Could you just take it a little bit further? And he's like, fine. Right. He's the best quarterback in the NFC right now.
Like, that's a nice take, but can you
Could you just take it a little bit further?
Can you give it more Stephen A?
See, I like that one because you can almost feel the segment coming together. I feel like I was in the production room putting that segment together with those guys.
You can feel the systemic problem with this. All right, what's the last one?
This organization was in a playoff game. And as we sit and talk right now, they're 1-3 with losses in back-to-back weeks to the Giants and the Raiders. It still feels like they're trying to feel everything out on offense. There's more organization on the Las Vegas Strip at 3 a.m. on a Saturday than there is with this team in-game offensively. They can't score. They can't score. They have failed to reach 20 points in a game. 1-3, a lost season. I'm sad and I'm sickened. And now you think to yourself, what are the consequences about to be for this organization as this year goes on?
I don't know if there's an echo on that, but we apologize for the echo. Shouty Show's fighting back against us here. So that was about the Browns. I don't know, John. Do you know John?
I had no idea who that was until his name came on the screen and I Googled him. And I still don't really know who he is.
He sounds upset.
According to his bio on FoxSports.com, he's a national college basketball broadcaster and writer for Fox Sports.
That would explain his strong takes on the Cleveland Browns.
Right. And that's classic Shouty Show fodder as well, right? Like, what we do here is we take a guy who can shout and get high-pitched when he gets excited about things, right, and go all squeaky, and then we apply him to a different sport he knows nothing about, right? This is Stephen A. Smith. This is right out of the playbook, right? What do you do with Stephen A? Well, everyone loves listening to Stephen A, so let's throw him on a UFC broadcast, and he can tell Joe Rogan what's up, right? Let's throw him on an NFL discussion panel where he can talk about players that have been retired for 3 years and are their big missing pieces for the Chargers this year. Like, this is classic Shouty Show MO.
All I'll have to say is I think the Browns kind of deserve it at this point. I can hear the frustration. I think all Browns fans have maybe not the same pitch in their voice as John, but they've got the same thought. This offense is rough, and it's pretty bad right now.
That's the first.
Even when Deshaun Watson actually makes a few good throws, they're still not working.
Yeah, that might be the first Shouty Show though we've had on where it's gone full squeak. You know, the excitement, the vitriol has really ratcheted up the pitch of the voice. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of our video.
For more great content, click here to subscribe and here to watch another video. We'll see you again soon.